In this video, I'm going to share my 2025 retirement budget. So whether you're planning to retire or you're just curious about financial planning, I hope this video provides you with some useful insight. So hang in there with me to the end and see how I afford my retirement lifestyle. Before we dive into the numbers, let me give you some background so that my retirement budget will make that much more sense to you. So, the first thing that you need to know is that my wife and I, we currently live alone. Our two kids, they've grown up and grown out. They're living their own lives somewhere else, although they do come home every now and then. My wife, she's 57 and I am 65. Now, the second thing that you need to know is that I retired from the military. Yeah, I did about 23 years in the U.S. Army. And now that entitles me to a pension. And while we were in the Army, we had two kids. And when we had kids, we decided that, my wife would be a stay at home mom. Now, that lifestyle just made that much more sense and it made it much more easier on us as well as our kids. Now, we just learned to live on one paycheck. We learned to live within our means. So, the third thing that you need to know is that when I turned 62, yeah, I fully retired. I fully retired. And that was back in May of 2021, little over 3 years ago. Yep. It's been over 3 years since I have retired. And when I retired, I started drawing that Social Security. I wanted my money. And so the fourth thing that you need to know is so we have these two sources of income. We have my military retirement coming in, we have my Social Security coming in, and we also have a retirement account uh, that I manage myself. Invest in the market. I don't pay a financial planner to manage that money for me. That's something that I can do myself. Plus, I don't want to pay out that a whole bunch of money just for to let somebody do something that I can do myself. Uh, and so we dip very little into it, but it's there so that if something does happen, we have some money to keep us going. So the fifth thing that you need to know is that by no means am I rich, but then again, by no means am I poor. You know, we make enough to live the lifestyle that we can afford, and that's lesson number one. Um, if you want an extravagant lifestyle, then you better save and invest a whole lot of money. And if you're one of them that think that you can't retire, well, you can retire. It's just a matter of finding the lifestyle that you can afford. So let's jump into my budget and kind of see what that looks like. So I'm going to share my screen. So I'm going to become a little bit smaller, but you'll be able to see my numbers. So I don't use any sophisticated kind of software to track my income and expenses. I just use Excel. Nothing great, but you know what? It does the job, and that's all I needed to do. So first, let's take a look at my income sources. So as I said, it's nothing fancy, it's just an Excel program. You see here, the top here, 2025 budget. The first thing we're going to talk about is income, that money which I bring in. There's all the months, and this what I'll use throughout the year to kind of track my expenses. So you can see the first two that we talked about already was my Social Security and my military retirement. So my Social Security, and this is for 2025. It's been adjusted for a couple of things, and we're going to get into that when we get there, right? So I project I'm going to be pulling in about 2183 a month, or it's about $26,196 in the year. And my military retirement is like uh, 3,660 a month. Or if you want to look at that by the year, we're talking about 43,920. And so if you combine those two, that's about $70,116. So that's what I'll make within the year. Or if you want to look at it monthly, I make about $5,843 a month. That's the number that I use to uh, pay all my bills, monthly, and have money to live and do things. So that's my income. That's what I bring in. Um, so let's talk about some fixed expenses. See right here, fixed expenses. So I just track two only because these are the things that come directly out of my Social Security and my retirement, right? So when we talk about my Medicare, because I'm on Medicare, right? I'm 65 now. Um, Let me hit my health care. So, in 2025, Medicare is going to $185. So, those that are not retired, once you jump on Medicare, you got to pay $185 a month for Medicare. Medicare's not free. That's Part B. Part A is free, but Part B is 185. And so, what I do, because remember, I'm a retired military. Uh, I went with the Humana Honors Advantage Plan, and with the Humana Honors Advantage Plan, uh, there's a payback, right? So they actually give me back $130 for participating in their Advantage Plan. Now I also have TRICARE for Life. That's my secondary. So TRICARE for Life pays everything that Medicare doesn't pay. So that's pretty good. And plus they give me $130 back. So basically I pay, and what they take out of my Social Security check is $55. So if you're getting ready to retire, if you're going to retire in 2025, just note that if you jump on Medicare, it's going to cost you $185 a month. And then if you get any other plans, because there's other plans that go with it, just off the top of my head, we're talking about medications, right? So my medication is covered with TRICARE for Life, so I don't have to worry about that. But then, if you're not retired from the military, and then you'll have to jump into some type of plan that's going to provide you with coverage for medication. And that's a whole different video, a whole different subject. But just note, with for me, they give me back $130, and so I only pay $55 for my health benefits. And that's pretty good. So let me jump back here. So that's Medicare. So now TRICARE, and this is more for my wife than anything. So my wife is, because she's still 57, my wife is on TRICARE, right? I'm on TRICARE for Life. So she's still on TRICARE. So it's going to cost us in 2025 $15.66. That's what's going to cost us. And so that comes right out of my military retirement check. So that's why I just say it's a fixed expense, because it comes right out of that. I don't even worry about it. Um, my retirement check that I get up here, the 3,660, it's already adjusted for that $50.66. So let's get into the expenses, right? So these are all my normal bills that I have, right? So with Bank of America, I do have a line of credit that I utilize, right? So I pay about $500 a month to satisfy that. I do have a Sirius satellite in our truck, in our car. When we go driving in a long distance, instead of trying to find a station, we just like listening to Sirius XM, right? There's a lot of channels that we like, that we'll watch, especially if we're somewhere and there's a football game that we want to listen to uh, or watch or listen to, because we're in our truck. We can pull it up and listen to the game. So for $24, yeah, you know what? I'm okay with that. Uh, we still have a mortgage on our house, right? So we pay 18 or $1,818 a month for our mortgage. So we got one of those. Let me see where my mortgage tab is. Let me hide that. So our mortgage, and um,
people kept saying, you gotta downsize, sell your house, move it to something smaller. But I just don't know. I'm not convinced yet that that's the smartest decision. So we're in a 5 bedroom, 3 bath, 4,000 square foot home. That's a lot of home for two people, yeah. But we're only paying 18 for it. We got one of those low mortgage rates. 2.38 or 2.375 really is what it is. And so, that's really low. And I really don't want to give that up. So in principle, we pay about 410. Our interest is about 371. Property tax here in Texas, that kind of hurts us a little, right? So we pay about $612 a month in property taxes. Yearly, we pay about $7,344 in property tax. That's probably high. And if you think it's high, let me know in the comments. Tell me what you pay in property tax versus what I pay. Although we don't have a state tax here, this is one way that they collect some money. And it's gone down in the last couple of years, and hopefully they'll continue to trend downwards. We'll see. But hazardous insurance or homeowners insurance, we pay about $425 a month, or $5,100 a year. And so that comes right out of our mortgage, right? So that's about $1,036 that's collected, that goes into escrow, and when that bill comes due, it gets paid by our brokers. And so that's the $1,818 for a mortgage. So right now for me, that's not bad. I don't think I can find a 3 bedroom apartment anywhere that'll cost less than $1,818. Everything that I've seen are up in the 20s, 27, up in the 31s, and I just can't see selling a 5 bedroom home to move into something that's 3 bedroom and pay more. I don't think I will break even. I don't think I will make any money if I do downsize and move into something different. But we'll see. Time will tell. Right now, we believe that we're going to be age in place, and so we'll just stay here as we grow older, and just make modifications in our homes that we need, to continue to live a good life here. And then Selman Co. Selman Co. It's a another supplemental health insurance, right? That's from mainly from my wife. So TRICARE, they pay a lot, 80%, and then Selman Co. will pay the other 20% that TRICARE doesn't pay. So that's not bad. That's a pretty good deal. And one of the things that we have seen, and if you haven't retired yet, or if you haven't had those health issues, as you grow older, you get more health issues. And if you don't have the health insurance that is good enough to pay all your bills, man, you can get stuck, in a large debt from healthcare, and we don't want to do that. And so we buy health insurance because we know as we get older, we're breaking down. And then our cell phones, right? So we pay about $110. We have two cell phones. We don't have Apple phones. We have regular Android phones. I keep thinking about getting rid of the phones, but then I go out, go for a drive. I go somewhere without my wife, and I keep thinking, yeah, if I break down or something happens, how do I get a hold of my wife? And so I think we're gonna keep our cell phones, but we've been with AT&T. That's the plan that we have. We've been with them for a long time, and I just hate to leave AT&T and go somewhere else. Right? So let's go. The next one is power. So our power bill, again, 4,000 square foot home. We pay on average about 300 right now. It was a lot more when when we had two kids living in the house, but now that it's just us two, we can manage. When we use the air, when we use the heater, both upstairs and downstairs, and so on average, it's about 300. Right? It could be less or even more during the coldest part of the year or the hottest part of the year. Right? and so that's not a problem. So 300, we can manage. And then the next one, that's water, wastewater, garbage. That's roughly $200. Um, Again, a lot less during the summer months when we tend to water the grass a lot more to keep it green. But on average, it's about 200. Car insurance, and we do have two cars. Both cars are paid for. Um, I keep thinking of getting rid of one. We got a truck and I got a Kia, and if we go long distance, I take the truck. We running right around town here. Going to McDonald's to get a Big Mac. I just drive my Kia. Saves on gas and it saves miles on the truck. $160 is it, I don't know. From what I've seen, it is a lot, but with USAA, and that's our where we do all our banking and we do our insurance. Not only are they for me a trusted bank and a trusted insurance. When I get a problem, they jump right at it and they fix it, and that's something I like. So let's go to the next one. Is internet. So we pay about $85.74 for high speed internet. We got fiber. And again, I'll go back to, I need it and I got it right here 500 minutes per second, right? It's kind of what I needed in order to trade the market, right? You got to have that high speed internet. Yeah, I could probably get away with something lower. But for right now, I think paying for the 500 speed, it is the right plan for us. Our vision, we both wear glasses, and so we're both probably every 2 3 years we're getting a new pair of glasses. uh, $40 a month, we can manage that. College loan, man, I'm never going to get away from paying college tuition, right? I pay about $150 uh, a month. Too bad this administration, um, and this is December of 2024. This administration didn't cancel my college loan. Too bad. Um, yeah, I don't think it's going to get canceled at all. But I paid no problem. I paid $150 a month, and I'm good with that. At some point, it'll get paid off. We do have Sling. That's kind of what we watch on our TVs, and so that's probably $49 a month. That's what we spend on that. Life insurance. I do have a $200,000 life insurance for myself. So if I pass away, again, I'm the older one. If I pass away, my wife has something to get going again. I don't have any life insurance on her. If she should pass, I'll just be sad and I'll just cry forever, right? But uh, as far as earned income, nothing would change. So we're good with that. I do have a boat, a paid for boat, bass boat, and didn't get out in it this last year or this year. Uh, Man, there's so much going on, and retirement, you start to get a little lazier, right? And there's a lot of effort into hooking up the boat, taking it to the lake, which is for me about 5 minutes from where I live, putting it in the water. But once you get in the water and you're on the lake, man, it's so peaceful. But I plan to do that in 2025. I sure will. But I do pay $18 for insurance in case anything happens. I'm covered. Netflix, yeah. So we watch Netflix pretty much. We pay $12 for that. Drinking water, we really don't like the water that comes in the faucet, and it don't taste all that good. So we have water delivered to us, in those 5 gallon jugs, and then we have a dispenser, and so it costs us somewhere about $20 a month to keep that going, and so we're good with that. And then our HOA, because we live in a housing area where it's uh, maintained by a HOA. We got to pay that $40 a month, or we only pay like one time a year, right? So at the beginning of the year, like in January, I have to pay $480 to them, right? And I guess that's the price you pay for wanting to live in this area, right? And we're just north of Fort Worth, about 30 minutes from downtown. So yeah, can't complain. There's about three lakes all around us, so we're in a good area. So altogether, you can see right here, our bills equal about $3,691.30. And obviously, these bills can fluctuate right up and down, and that's not a problem. Um, so if you take that number, right, that 361.91, and you minus it from the what I bring in, the $5,843, I'm left with $2,151. Now, what do I do with that money? Well, let me hit others here. And so here's where I put grocery, right? So groceries, we spend maybe about $600 buying our groceries. And when we buy groceries, what we do is, we have Walmart Plus, and so we just order our groceries online and have it delivered to the house when we need it. Gas, we spend about $100 in gas a month. Although there's some months where I'll fill up, and we go very little places, right? The most places we go to is to visit my daughter and go visit my son, right? Or we run around town, and so sometimes I'll fill up, and I can go 2 3 months without having to fill up again. Um, but I budget $100 because those times where we take a day trip, a weekend trip somewhere, and so it kind of averages out to be $100. Eating out, something that we like to do, we spend about $200, and we're flexible with that, right? Because we enjoyed going out to get a pizza, and most of the time, it's not going out to a restaurant and sitting down and eating. It's going somewhere, grabbing some food, coming home, and sitting at our house watching our TV and eating. We enjoy doing that a whole lot more, and it's probably less expensive than going in, sitting down, and eating. Uh, and I love, if you watch any of my other videos, I love Asian food, right? Born and raised on Guam, so Mongolian beef and white sticky rice. That's what I like to get. My wife loves Mexican food, although she's not Mexican, but she loves Mexican food. So we go to two different places and grab what each want, and we head home. And then you know, um, miscellaneous stuff. We have $1,200 there. Yeah, there's no need to. For me, I don't want to make my budget so complicated that it becomes a stressor in my life, right? So miscellaneous, that covers everything from buying cat food to bird seed to might be a house project that we need to get done. Fix a faucet. Might be grass seeds. It might be something in the summer we want to plant something. Anything and everything else we want to do, there's $1,200 for us to do whatever. If we want to take a day trip and go somewhere, there's money to do that. And so basically, that's kind of our budget, right? It's something pretty simple, pretty easy to follow. Gives us enough money to live on to still go do things. And as I said, our lifestyle is age in place, so we'll probably stay in this house for a long time. Um, we are family oriented, so when I go somewhere, it's usually to go visit my son or go visit my daughter. We lived the life of traveling everywhere already, so we're not so in tune to want to jump in the truck and go drive and go see things. We've already seen things. We're done with that. We just want to relax and enjoy a simple, peaceful retirement. And so that's my budget. And so what I'm thinking I'm going to do is, maybe every month at the end of the month, I'll do like some do, and I'll put up my budget and show you whether I met these goals, whether I hit these goals or not. But until the end of January, this is Chandler's Retirement Live. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you maybe took something away from it. If you have any comments, right, send them to me. Send all those feedback in the comments. And if you want to watch any of my other videos, they're going to pop up right up here or right up there. This is Chandler's Retirement Live saying it's a good life, and I have a budget for 2005, and I'm going to stick to it. Lights out.